Okay, when the fan is going down, oxygen mask goes on you. So
it's
if
hard.
you
I'm the
cannot
same
breathe,
way.
how are you trying to make somebody else breathe?
I'm the same way though.
You cannot. And I've told him so many times, but he has that heart. He wants to have. He wants to do that. You're living with me. Get your own oxygen mask. You know. Gratefully, he's on his standings as far as that. He's on his way. I'm enjoying my peace, my solitude. Christmas Day. That's why I didn't do anything.
Right, I get it.
No, I want my Zen.
I get it.
I want it. It is too valuable.
What time are you gonna start the thing tomorrow?
Did Mr. Jones say? No, he's still trying to deal with something.
Yeah.
Miss Peggy, Kim has your information.
Well,
So
just let me know. I'll go.
Yeah.
okay.
I need to go home, but I got to start working on my
Okay.
taxes. But I will make the 2 boxes of brownies.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Just let me know.
Well, it's
what
over
time,
there. I'll
yeah.
let you know.
Yeah, it's
And I'll bring
tomorrow.
those 2 boxes of the stuff that I wanted to donate.
Yeah.
You do that too.
I just done the kitchen because I've done the rest of the house. But
Right.
anyway, there's that. I have cleaned and purged my entire house.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Reclaimed.
I know that
feeling.
feeling. Ah, yes. To walk in and be able just to breathe deep. Because that's what it makes you do.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that's what I call the God force, breathing. Breathing is the God force. Because it just clears you.
Yeah.
Nature.
Not what can be lost, but what will be gained. Find that light in darkness, even if it's a flicker, even if it's a spark. Every loss is a little tougher, and every instant of sadness uncovers something beautiful.
Yes.
Every moment of fear teaches you to be a little braver. Every broken heart opens the door to
So Dr. Barber,
instead of doubting,
she is the speaker at the event.
She is the event. Yes.
Okay.
The only speaker really. It's her event, but my friend is the one that brought her in. He flew her in. He paid for her to get there, and we got to get the room filled or whatever. But that's all on him. I planned it, did the hotel, the reservations for him, all the admin stuff. But I figured with her credentials and what she's been able to do, you tell me I'm leaving with a grant in my hand, at least we'll have a blueprint. We'll know what we need to do, how to research.
Right.
We go look for our own individual grants. We figure out how to establish ourselves. For right now, we could use Mr. Jones 5013 if we're going to use a faith-based one versus personal. I got some things I can talk to you guys about building trust. I have the documents to build nonprofit trust, but they have a different designation than they call a 508c1a, which is a private trust. And it has a whole different set of benefits that we want to look at, because when we talk about asset protection and staying off the grid and it's all about structure. So you getting ready to check out, Peg?
yeah, that's okay. I just got to get some.
Yeah, it's okay. I got some things I need to do. I'm revamping the testing business. I found like 3 more labs that I want to try to use, and because the phone won't stop ringing, so I got to I did an appointment on Friday, and I have to send a lab in.
Okay.
But I want to look for my own lab to cut out Lawrence so I can have my own lab contract. Otherwise, I got to pay him to be an affiliate again. So, can't spend that money until I make sure I can process this for us.
Lovely meeting you, lady.
Yes.
You
I
too,
think
Miss
we're gonna do
Peggy.
some fine things together.
Yes,
We are.
yes,
Look forward to our little trip to DC and
Oh,
Virginia.
yes.
Awesome.
Miss
Give me a
Peggy,
hug,
what
Miss
was your
Peggy.
last name?
It was nice meeting you.
Mhm.
Can't wait to see you.
Oh, she not Peggy anymore. I keep forgetting she did a name change.
What is
Yes.
Mickey.
Miss Mickey.
I keep forgetting.
My legal name is Peggy Phillips Lloyd. But I've been divorced 30 years, so I'm getting rid of the Lloyd soon. But going back to Phillips.
Mhm.
But I don't like the name Peggy.
Why? It's so pretty.
It's so June Cleveland.
Lord.
I like Mickey as a nickname for Peggy.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be,
My middle name's June.
I just like the name Mickey, and I can use it as a nickname for Peggy. And keep Peggy as a middle name to honor my parents who gave it to me.
Mhm.
Mickey Peggy Phillips.
Mhm.
So professionally, I go by Mickey Phillips.
Okay.
Okay.
I said legally, I'm still Peggy Lloyd, but
All right.
I practice and all is in the name of Mickey.
In the name of
Alright.
Thank you.
Mickey.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Great minds think alike. I was just gonna say that. I done got so comfortable. See,
Yes.
don't even invite me to y'all house because y'all think I'm coming for the meeting. I'm going to sleep somewhere.
So you're gonna be in the corner somewhere asleep?
Oh yes, ma'am. Because I surely had my mom planning on coming to your house. I said she's not gonna go catch a corner on Miss Wynn's couch. All right. Okay. Here's our exit. Oh, the flow. I do. That's gonna be my option. Cause I need to figure out something I can't.
Yeah.
I can't move without knowing I got somewhere to go. All right, then. All right, you welcome back.
Mhm. So, how we coordinate the trip so far? Do we have one person driving? Everybody's driving. Everybody's.
We hadn't talked that far yet.
Okay.
If it's 5 of us, then that means Mr. Jones probably need to drive. Or will we go in 2 cars?
That's what I'm asking.
The one he said he could take the van.
Oh, that's right. You sure did.
Y'all like, is that Peggy bag or Mr. Jones bag? Miss Peggy's probably ketchup. Ketchup. I should have took it. I got y'all right behind you. I'm Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
It's Mr. Jones. It is. He got me. Yeah. Because he, yeah. Well, he got to come back now. He's got to come back now. So yeah, so we got to figure this out. And you know what I think it's about? Kim, you just so beautiful.
Thank you.
Nope. That's how you know you're close to what God has for you, because before he gets you where he gonna take you, he will allow you to go. He'll allow you to go through the worstest part, because what he has is great, and we need to know how to handle it. Because some people, think, look at all these other celebrities. They get that money,
they go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them go so crazy to where they really lose touch with reality. And then the other ones get the money. Like look at Kanye. What Kanye do? Kanye went crazy, but he went crazy because he knew better. He knew better because he knew before. He probably went through a lot of stuff we going through now, and he still chose that. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew they was gonna kill his mother. He knew it. He knew it because he lost touch with reality. You think you want something so bad, and then when it happens, and you can't go back on it, and that stuff drove him crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, look at him right now, how he made all that money for them, and like one day he lost what did you say, millions of dollars because everybody just banned his stuff. But he turned around, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna team up with Balenciaga." He started selling all his Balenciaga stuff for $10 to $15 on the streets. He made all that money right back. All of it back. Balenciaga, that's an expensive clothing line. But he like, okay, y'all gonna take my money? Let me go ahead and push this line. And he started selling. That's why you see everybody walking around with Balenciaga. That stuff is expensive. He took it and started selling on the streets for $10, $15. And made all his money back. So what I'm trying to say is that God will take you through all this stuff. So when we get there, and when you get to wherever it is you're supposed to be, you'll be able to know how to handle it calmly and gracefully. That's just what I really and truly believe. Because I'm telling you, recently, like I told you, they stole so much money from me when my daddy died. But I needed that to happen because it's easy to get away from yourself and lose touch with reality when you get blessed with all that money. It's so easy to lose touch with reality when you get blessed with it. I'm telling you, it is. It is.
I mean, it's not good when you going through it because I know I was just, but I see what you're saying. Like where I'm at now, it's like
Oh, it's gonna be
okay,
so more humbling, Kim. It's gonna come.
yeah, because
If you
like
was able to make it, if you was able to make it one time, you can, and you put your mind and your heart to it again, it's gonna come back to you 10 times fold. It's gonna be so much better. So much better this time around. That's why, like I said, them people who think that man who think he took that from you, that man ain't having no good luck right now. And even if it do, it's gonna run out, and he may just have to come back around again. When you come back up on your feet, you never know how God gonna flip your tables and work that thing out for you. That's the same with me. The same people who took that money from me, now that lady goes in and out of the doctor. And guess what I told God? Don't hurt her, don't kill her, don't do none of that. Touch her heart and bless her to be a better person for the next person. And I told him, I said, God, you know, in fact, even bless her to get more money, and then bless her to come back and give me my damn money back. I need I want my money back. But I need you to bless, don't kill her, don't hurt her, just touch her heart, convict her heart. And I told her, I said, I hope you on your deathbed, you can put me in your damn will. I want to hurt her, Kim. I want to hurt that lady. I was fighting on hurting them too.
if I could have got away with it.
Girl, I thought everything I
And like I
could.
said, I just ran into the woman about 3 weeks ago. And
I told you that when you first met us, they don't start.
I ran into her for the first time at the
Okay, I'm out
at
of
the
there.
UPS
What
store.
happened?
Oh, prior to COVID, I had a medical supply company, and I was renting an office space with this veteran, and I had another veteran that was my supplier. I literally wrote $29 million worth of invoices in 17 contracts, 6 weeks. My company transferred $5 million to Anthony for the first portion of half of every contract. My customers had paid half the money so they can get their sanitizer. The lady signed the contract saying she owned half of my business, white woman. The dude is a pharmacist right over there in the office space, Virgo, he's still there to this day. And he took the money. He gave her some of it, and once I realized what was going on, he decided he wasn't gonna pay. And he didn't finish the people's order. I had Representative Soka get involved. He wrote a letter to the Attorney General. I went to the police department. I did everything that I could possibly think of to get help. No help, and my whole business crashed. That's why I'm facing foreclosure right now.
And see, you know what you can do too? You know you can turn around with that too.
and you need your lawyer. See, we need to do some fundraisers for a lot of this stuff. You can get you a fundraiser, get you a good lawyer. Your people have to be, girl, all this. Mr. Jones told us, and I believe it. I believe and I receive everything that he told me. This time next year, we will not look the same. We will not be the same. We will not
I
think
didn't
the same.
think that was gonna be this year for me. I just knew
telling
that
you.
things were gonna work out. Then with my mortgage company, this is my next issue. I know I have a case, but it's just when you in the midst of it's hard to focus. So I was studying the whole mortgage document, and I realized that there are clauses in the mortgage document that had we read them, we would be having our mortgage free. Like most people don't even read that commitment.
Right.
So I sent into the mortgage company foreign currency to pay off my mortgage. They kept the currency and still waited 9 months to foreclose on me.
They can't. That's illegal.
They can't. So I know I got something. I just need to figure out how to go back into the courts because I sent the certified letter. Peggy signed it as my witness. That I was attempting
You got
to do.
copies though?
I got copies of everything. So now I know that that's why I was like happy to meet you because as I was working with this group they call them the church transaction group. We learning how to read contracts. Literally in every contract there is a remedy, but we have not learned how to read them appropriately. That's why we became a part of a debt society.
Well,
you know why? So I know it's illegal what they did, but how I wanted to use you, Miss Gwen, is that I gotta rewrite a document to ask what happened to the money. Now I can go into the courts and say it ain't even a matter of anymore that they took the house, but you took the money and you didn't return it, which means you forfeited the old contract and accepted the new one. Right? That's right? In general, right? Because they didn't return the money. So now it's not even about controversy anymore. The house, did you not return
both of them?
They
took your money.
Right.
They took the money
And trying to take my house.
No, they did take your house. That's what I'm telling you. Like that's what I was saying when I said no.
So I know I got something. It's a matter of getting with some masterminds to help me figure out how to.
Right here because I'm going to court be like, you a damn lie. They took her house. Listen, they took your house and they got the money. That money is to pay.
And now the dinars have been revalued in Iraq, and when we get to cash them in, I would have paid for this house at least by 4 times. That's how I sent them 100,000 in dinars, and now the dinars have been revalued in Iraq, so they're gonna end up getting like 4 times. I know it's something I can do, and that's why I need you, Miss Gwen, because when I send the letter to the bank. You being the notary will verify whether the bank respond. All affidavits after 30 days is admissible in court. If you don't answer the questions, I got the receipt that you received it through the mail. I got everything is already documented. Now you come in as a witness that we sent this letter. They didn't respond. Now I want the damages. I want what line 23 says. Line 23 of all mortgage contracts say that this is why we got to read so we can educate the people. If people knew that line 23 says, upon our satisfaction of obligation of the debt, the promissory note, the property, the security instrument, the interest, and the payment should be returned back to the borrower.
Yeah,
but we failed to do that part because nobody read the contract and very few people. So if you knew that the faster you paid your house off, you were supposed to get your money back. We would have been living together. You get what I'm saying? There would have been a way that people would have been able to, I don't want to say gain, but you would have had different financial strategies. Let's get our houses paid off because you're rich at that point. When you don't have a mortgage.
Right. Girl, hell no. They got
So that's why I know I'm happy to meet y'all, because it's the power of the notary. You got more power damn near just as much as God.
oh
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Because I can perform marital ceremonies as well.
she surely can. She can do a lot of things. That's why I said Miss Wood, that's why I was telling you, God told me he was gonna send me some people. I'm telling you, this year alone, a lot of my friends, they call too. They be like, where are you? Why you ain't been over here? Your family ain't been over. I just don't have time for that no more. God is trying to elevate me. God is trying to get me
And
this
when he does that,
entrepreneurship and stuff like that.
you will get.
I just
eliminate
can't.
people.
Yeah, and like I told him, I still love them and stuff. Because God has blessed me with some really great group of friends. But it's just that they're not going where I'm going right now, and I can't get there. I look at my kids every day. I have a 21-year-old, and I see him getting up every day, trying his damnedest to do better for himself. That alone touches my heart. I see a 20-year-old who's trying to figure out who he is, and he's frustrated because he needs attention and stuff, so he's trying to hold on. He's very smart. And I'm like, I just don't have time to hang out with y'all. Got an 18-year-old, he feels like the outcast, but he don't complain about anything. He's very humble-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
So I got all these, and my daughter, she's the only girl. You see what I'm saying? The only girl out the whole bunch, and she's Miss Sassy, she want to be, but she tried to hold on and she loved her daddy. So in the midst, and then I got the veteran. He trying to hold on for himself. God touched my heart about him like 3 days ago. I was like, Lord, as much as I want to beat his ass up and leave him, I just can't run off and leave my husband right now. That's my friend and stuff that he upsets me. But I know things could be a lot worse. You see what I'm saying? So God just picking at my heart. So I tell my friend, right now I don't have time to hang out with y'all like that. I got other stuff going on. And where I'm trying to go, I can't get there doing the same thing I'm doing. I ain't told them my business stuff like they don't know that I become a business meeting and got to hook me up with some old people and stuff like that. They gonna see it when they see it. But I believe everything that Mr. Jones is telling us, and I receive it. This time next year, we won't look the same. We won't even be recognizable to some of these people, to a lot of these people. I hope to none of them, honestly. I'm ready to elevate. Next year, I pray to God that we can, like our events, the events just start getting better and better for us. I pray next year that, I pray that we don't even take that long for them to, for the course that just to get that gap and tell you that they got to return everything back to you. That way you ain't got to stress and worry about where you going to lay your head. This is your home.
And then I can take off because I got so many other things that we could be doing. I could be doing, but I can't.
You know what you got to do? So in the midst of, so we have 2 goals and we got to set a time frame for it. Well, 3 goals. First, we got to raise this money to get to VA. In the midst of doing that, you have to sit down, Kevin. You're going to have to just get all your paperwork and you're going to have to take it down. I'll go with you if you have to.
I got everything.
No, but I'm saying you need to go down there and look these people, them demons in their eyes, and you give them that paperwork. When you look them in the eyes, you speak prayer. You praying over yourself, you praying, speaking back into yourself, and you spitting, and you declaring what God has told you. You are the head and not the tail. You decree and you declare and you decree that. You look them demons in their eyes and tell them they can't have your stuff.
It says a strong woman knows how to keep
And we're gonna go forward with me. I got to get this paperwork submitted for my education debt release. I got all paperwork today. They trying to tell me I owe them $40,000 for my student loans, and I don't. They told me that I didn't get one of my degrees. That they didn't. I didn't go to school for one of my degrees. They didn't give me my diploma, but I got the paperwork where it shows my name is written on there. It was only 2 people in my class that graduated with a CAD degree in architect drafting. There was me and another person. But they said I didn't graduate, and then that they never offered it to me. So like my student loan debt is supposed to be canceled. They actually added $20,000 onto a debt that I was only supposed to pay like $15,000 to $20,000 for. And I wasn't even supposed to pay that to school illegally. They got closed down for some illegal stuff they did to other people outside of me. So that school got what do you call it? Closed, and they got a lawsuit filed against them. So like those people won that lawsuit.
See, it's all kinds of little things like that, and then that becomes your problem that you gotta try to fix.
Oh, but guess what?
And they'll pin that debt on you.
They're
quick
trying
to
to
pin
pin
that debt.
got closed down too.
And unemployment, Unemployment tried to do that to me too. Tried to say I owed them $8,000 because I was working in 2020, and I was in Texas. My brother died. I was in Texas that whole time doing my brother's funeral and everything. And you know, this white lady was being mean to me, and I told her that I needed her to write a letter. You know, she's like, "Well, I wrote you a letter once before. What did you do with da da da?" And I said, "You know, I lost that letter. Can you please write me another letter so I can give these people?" You know, she was being mean to me for doing that, her and her husband. And you know, not even 2 months later, she was out of town and stuff, and like she was stealing money from the other company. Like she got money, like bread, and she used to be so mean to me. But this time when I called, I was so nice I could be that lady. And this is when I was going through my way too. But I prayed about it and I was like, God, I ain't gonna be mean to her nothing like that. You know, the lady came home, her son set himself on fire and killed himself. She knew the whole time though that I was down there. My brother had died. My brother died. And her only son ended up killing himself. Being mean to me. Now, and she knew they tried to pin the dead on me. You gotta be careful how you treat people. That's why I said that man who did that to you ain't no.
And that don't say much as her being a parent. I mean, I hate to say that
Right,
her son couldn't come to her to
That's
talk
how
to
old my
her.
son was. That man was in his late 30s, early 40s.
Wow.
He
They-
probably had mental
He
illness.
did, girl.
Yeah,
He
had
did.
to.
His mom and them got money. She worked all the time. Let that money go to her head. Come and pull up at our job and stuff. She was our boss. She would intentionally pick on me and this other black girl. Me, I would stand up for myself though. That's why they was like, damn, Portia, I'm not gonna let these Peckerwoods run over me. I told the black girl, I said, listen, I don't know about you, but you need to get some backbone to let these Puerto Ricans run over you. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You just I can't, and I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, like I be trying, y'all. I'm like, girl, shit, you don't want to hang out with me. I be slapping one of you boss, and you be like, Portia, it's not me. I can't. I let people run over me so much growing up, and I'm a middle child.
Yes.
So where when I got old and I started standing up for myself, I'm like, we have to, because if you keep doing that, people will do that. And the crazy thing is, they don't care about our mental health. They don't care if we living or if we die. They don't care if we struggling, if we making it. That's the crazy thing when you dealing with people who don't have no compassion. They're evil. They cold-hearted. They don't care. So you have to stand up. You have to stand up. And once you stand up, that's when you say, okay, God, universe, whatever you want to say. I did my part, do yours. So whatever comes to them just comes. That lady was so mean to me. That lady's son ended up killing himself. After he killed himself, her brother died, her sister died, being mean to me. And I had to be the person she had to come to for help. Me and the same black girl she used to be mean to. All the Puerto Ricans turned their back on her. And one went up under her and got the job that she was doing because the company got big. They moved out. Another company took over. Last year, her son ended up killing himself. Her brother died. Her sister died. And it, you gotta be careful with the people. You know, that's what I told her. I was like, don't, the other lady, don't kill them. I need my money back. Bless her.
The path is laid out before you. You just have to be willing to walk.
And it's gonna come back, Kim. It's gonna come back. It's got to.
Yeah,
It's going to.
it's just I gotta figure this out. I figured that until I'm out, and even after that, I still know that there's something I could do because they kept the currency, which I already know that that's a no-no. So it's about now me figuring out how to get it in front of the right court.
Cause you know.
And maybe Mr. He may know somebody, the right judge.
He do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead. Don't keep waiting. Go ahead and talk to him. And ask him. Because I know he do. And one thing I noticed about Mr. Jones, you know why Mr. Jones don't help a lot of people, why he don't do what they need them to do. A lot of them people, especially when women, you spoke to the shop. I even prayed on his shop They got to clear out all those spirits, those different spirits. A lot of the women, they only come there because they know Mr. Jones up in age. They want his money. They think that like they can swindle their way and get it too. But I've noticed something about Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is a businessman, and I've been to their family church and stuff like that. And I see where their family run their church. His sister, oh my God, his sister has a beautiful angelic voice. His daughter has angelic voice. But Mr. Jones, one of the type of people, if you help him and you do what you say you're going to do for him, because he's a businessman, Mr. Jones don't mind doing things for us. That's why I said I'm so glad God placed us in his life for a reason. Some people that are really truly gonna and willing to help him, and it's not gonna take from him and steal from him and try to use him for those things. We're trying to help him while we're trying to help ourselves.
Okay.
And we can do it. I'm willing to I want to go to the church. I'm gonna tell them, hell no, you can't do that. Y'all can't take some. What if
See,
I gotta learn to speak
that's
to
why
her.
I want to talk to you
Stuff
possibly
like that.
offline and let you see what I've already written
You
up
can't
because
take nobody's stuff now.
I got some challenges that I had to just figure out. I just feel like I want to I'm going to finish this document and get Miss Gwen to send it off on my behalf she going to be like the intermediary as like what a lawyer would do, right? To receive the document, to send it off, right? And then the next step would be file something in the courts until a decision is made. Did y'all take the money? That's the only question at this point. Did you receive
They
payment?
did.
And they did. Peggy is my witness. Sabrina is my witness. We put it in the envelope. They mailed it off.
And you
I
got,
got their signatures.
and you got a receipt.
That they received it.
Yeah. We need to send this off. I'm gonna send it off. So see, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna call me down soon. I don't know what you want to court.
I gotta figure out.
You gotta
It's
get
called
this
a right,
started.
or should we go speak to maybe you can, I want to get you while you still home this week. Maybe we could go down and speak to the what do you call it, the public defender, to see what we need to do to file the case.
That's
What we
And I wonder if we need to go to the city hall or if we need to go to
Well, I'm looking at
What is it
those
called?
sections where
the city hall or the
My second option is to get the sheriff involved to ask for a trial by jury, a constitutional trial by
you
jury,
can.
which now the people will be the ones making the decision.
You can.
That's the other option, huh? To ask the sheriff for a constitutional
You can do that.
trial by
Because-
jury. And see now,
You
if
can do
that's the
that.
case, when
And they
they
gon-
be questioning, then the whole idea can get in the community that this is a fraud and we need to be looking at our contract.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be able to show you, I'm gonna give you an example, Miss Gwen, because I know you probably gonna go home and read when I tell you this.
Mhm.
You got title insurance, right? Just think about, in general, a person would get title insurance
Right.
before they get their mortgage, right?
Uh-huh.
The title insurance is to secure that the title is free and clear of errors,
Right.
omissions, or
Right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an insurance policy that you bought for the life of the ownership of the home.
Right.
That at any event, if I was an heir
Uh-huh.
and I was to rise from the dead and say that's my mama's house,
Uh-huh.
you could file a title insurance. I could file a title insurance. Like you would be compensated, but I would get my house back.
Uh-huh.
You would be compensated because you bought that insurance policy. Think about this. When you go look up the title insurance, it has about 20 things
Mhm.
that says this is how you can file a title insurance. The very first one is that, does someone else have an interest in your property? We should have been filing the title insurance the day we went to closing so that we can remove the county from your deed and you can own the land. That's how they've been getting us. So even after you pay your mortgage, you still gotta pay the taxes because you never fixed the original contract so that you can own the land. That's how they've been taking away our ancestral land from us.
That's my brother, y'all.
It's in there. This is the kind of stuff I want us to read and study, because before you get in trouble,
Mhm.
Wow.
And those my two sisters.
Mhm.
I want to know look like you.
Wow.
That's Lance mama. My nephew, that's his mama.
So before we get in trouble, if we was to read the contract, we would already address certain things before you get yourself in trouble. Then you discover now you're trying to fight to save your home when you could have saved it at the day of closing, or at any point if you would have took out the time to start reading. Line 20, any mortgage contract, I know it because I've been studying it. That's why I know how are these people getting away with this. And it's not enough people. And you can ask everybody in your neighborhood, did you really read your mortgage contract when you got that home? And the average person,
Just don't say no. No.
they were so excited just
Not
to
for
get the house.
understanding.
Not for understanding anyways.
Right.
They understood that I just took out a loan and I gotta pay this debt, but not knowing that God has given us a remedy within the contract, because everything according to, as far as I'm concerned, of God's kingdom, and people should be free. And there's a way that the system can do that. But if we're not asking the right questions, how can we really invoke change?
True.
But it ended up being one of those days where things
It's a lot. All we need is one victory and then take off. So I just got to figure out what my strategy, because that worst case scenario, I don't care what I did. I sent y'all a payment in the mail. It was foreign currency, but it was a currency. Y'all kept it. You can't do both. You can't keep it and then try to take my property too.
Wow.
So that's why I believe I got a case based on contract law.
True.
If I send you a payment and you keep the payment, you just accepted the new terms of the contract, right?
That's true. That is the binding part.
That's why I know I got a case. Now, how to file it in the courts is my next challenge. And I'm going to use you as my attorney. In fact.
Okay.
See, that's the difference. They are their attorney in law. We attorney in fact. We're stating the facts. Did you receive the payment on this date? The USPS tracking says you signed for it. Where's the money? Is no other questions need to be asked in the court. By default, you accepted the new terms of the contract.
True.
And it's been a year now since they had the money and never returned it.
Yeah. It really has to be.
It's time for that next step in this therapy. Time to thrust ourselves back into the chaos.
I mean, you got validation that they received it.
I got it.
So
Look, I'm gonna show you something.
it is binding.
Kim, look at this.
It is binding.
So I might be just sitting on the free house and stressing, but just have to figure out how to get the courts to enforce it.
That's true.
You already did it.
True. Hold on, let me show you something.
I didn't even know I recorded this. Hold on. What was I thinking? Look here, so this makes me feel better. Ready?
Today is September 23rd, 2022.
September 23rd. My baby's birthday, the 21st.
My brother's birthday is the 21st.
So I stopped at the store again, so fresh fruit and vegetables. Because I haven't been healthy.
Provide that little lift that might help someone with their own problems and maybe see a path moving
with
forward.
the passing of my dad, my brother,
That's when
and my grandma,
and then in addition to that,
and my dog,
on a
and my best friend. You know,
I
I
don't
don't
I lost all those people. My dad, my brother, my granny, and my best friend, and my dog. All my boom, 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 boom.
have faith that God's going to work everything out. Guys, have a blessed day.
He ain't alone. I told you. I was like, damn, Lord, cause I said, God, I ain't never thought about killing myself until recently. I said, damn, if I die, the devil gonna be waiting on me. I told myself, I said, if I die, he gonna be waiting on me.
If you don't do it, they gonna lock you up in the Looney Tune. You gonna be in straight jackets and they gonna keep you drugged. And that was enough to say, well, I'm probably not gonna be a successful killer.
See, but you know what? I had told my friend when this happened though. I told my friend that I put it on the grievance group because it's more people out there that's going through the thing. It's just the people are scared to talk about it. But when you can get with other who have been where you've been, and like how we just told our stories, but we laugh and stuff, it's when your laugh is contagious. So when I hear you laugh, it makes me want to laugh. But when you hear what you're going through, and then you can laugh, you can look back on it and laugh. You know how many other people you're helping to heal? Because there's so many other people, they think like how we think too. Like, damn, I'm telling you, I really thought about that. I was like, damn, if I die, because you know the out-of-body experience, I said, damn, I'm on this side fighting. Well, hell, I'm gonna actually see him. I ain't gonna win. They gonna take me with him. I said, oh hell no, I can't do that. I gotta reach out and get some help because I've been strong for too long. I was one of the people, I just hold everything in. I'm always fine. This time I just really broke this time. And I was like, I can't believe that happened to me. But it can happen to anybody. It really and truly can. So that's why it's good to be around people who can relate to you and who can talk to you and who you can tell these things to, because you'll find out you're not the only person.
Yeah, the other
It's a lot
issue
of
though
us.
is that what I found is that I've been like pretty much, I want to say, living in solitude for the last 2 years.
And look how close we live to each other.
Yeah.
We're all right here around each other.
Yeah,
We didn't know
and
it.
you don't know it. And not only that, but then when I start telling my story, I got so many levels that people just can't believe it. Like I even in my mind, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? I wasn't out here stealing, robbing, mistreating people. Like somebody even like Peggy, I owe her. She worked for me for a whole year answering my phone because she believed in me. Like I got an invoice that I owe. Once I come up, I got to pay. But she didn't stop being my friend. She didn't stop loving me.
You know why?
Even when she was taking care of her mom, I didn't bother her a lot. But if I had a doctor's appointment or somewhere to go, I can call her and she'd be like, I'm going to be there for you.
You know why?
Everybody else deserted me.
You know why?
Not really, but I don't want to say they deserted me. I think as COVID happened, people just was going through those things and you start evaluating. If you didn't take our time to build during COVID, because we had time, right? Then you just kind of look at your relationships and now I'm going through stuff. I'm not going to call this person and dump on them because people don't really care. They really don't care. Especially if you're not doing well, because they ain't going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, likely they're going to judge you.
That's
Well,
it.
you know what else it is
That's
to him
the
though?
problem.
Remember when I told you him? It had to happen. It had to happen. It's sad as it is, for whatever reason it is, God could have been saving you from yourself,
I
saving
see
you from
you licking.
somebody else.
No, I see you looking up there. You trying to figure out what I got up there, my car.
I see your
Two
son.
Americas. We got two.
Yeah, we do.
Like this is the vision, and every morning when I wake up, like this how God is leading me. Like we
Guess
got
what?
two different systems, political systems going on, and most people don't realize it.
We do. There's a hidden agenda, first of all. It's hidden. And remember what I told you, New York is not New York. Florida is not Florida. Our map is flipped around. It's flipped. People don't believe me when I tell them that we're not. And they took our map and they flipped it. And guess what else too? America is not bigger than Africa.
I got the world map in the other room on the other
And
wall.
part of me believe
It is the only map that should fit in. So Africa.
And
I
look
just
right
tell
here,
you that
that's
people wouldn't even believe
see,
that
that's
Africa is
Russia,
really-
right? I did this
Africa
vision
is
before
really-
everything happened with Russia. That's
America.
Russia right there where the J is, right?
And guess what?
That's America where the green dot. Look how close Russia and America. Then Canada is right next to it in Mexico.
And guess what? I was just gonna tell you something though too.
But why do they take you all the way around the world to get to Russia when Russia
That's
is
right.
a straight shot?
You know
They
why?
hiding a lot of stuff from us.
They're not hiding. You know what? Like you said, we don't read. It's common sense. Look at that map. God gave us everything. It's all right there, but you rather believe a lie than the truth. That's just like you said, that they told you it takes us to go all the way around there to get to Russia. You gonna believe that lie when you're looking at a map? The truth is right there in your face. A lot of people don't believe too that United States, that's really a part of Africa. It is.
And when I got the world map, oh my God, I love you. Africa, Florida was attached to Africa.
Girl, now you see what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes,
It's
yes.
a lie.
And under the Keys, there's a whole hidden city under the Keys. And under I received a vision in Louisiana. There's plates under there. Well, it's a lot, and then they're hiding what's beyond the ice wall. It's a lot. But these are the visions that I get every single day, and I document and write everything. I know I'm on to something. I just don't know what.
You know who knows a lot about this too?
What? The army.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Those men.
And it's funny
Baby
because
see
I had a
stuff.
couple of guests, Airbnb guests, to come through here, and they were military.
They'll tell you
And one
some
of the
shit.
things that I interviewed them, and they were like, even the stuff that they saw,
They can't take
they
it.
can't talk about it. They can't take it. They're suffering in silence, like PTSD. They're afraid to get help because they're afraid to lose their benefits or be looked at as crazy.
Right.
So these people are going to fight wars, and they
Why
never get the proper
Why you think I have
mental health
Mm-hmm.
treatment.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
And these are the people that are infiltrating all throughout our government system that's making decisions for sane people like you and me. I got a political agenda. I just don't know exactly what office that's gonna make a difference. We need to be the mayor or the commissioner.
Wow.
But I gotta first get myself out of this trouble, man.
Are we gonna get you out?
I can challenge jurisdiction. I know how to read any map in the world now. That's a gift that was given to me. And what I noticed when I've taken over 20 million pictures, walking, reading maps online, traveling. And I noticed that, like, once I started studying all the documents for this house, they have us listed in South Carolina, this property, Cumberland County, and Hope Mills. And Hope Mills was actually a different name before it was called Hope Mills. When I went to check the deeds of records, they don't have it. It doesn't really exist on paper. None of us have checked these documents. We just have assumed
What doesn't exist on paper?
this property. It doesn't. No one has really doesn't own it, because how can it be? Google is saying that this is South Carolina. The county records is saying that it's located in Cumberland County. We paying taxes, and it's tax for Hope Mills. Who has the proper jurisdiction? Where is this place really located? The coordinates don't match what's on the deeds of records. These are all my arguments, but I just don't know where to take them. So the question is, who has proper jurisdiction? When I went to study all the maps, I noticed, or I'm going to say the ancestral realm showed me through my camera, and then when I go read the maps, let's just say there's a diamond shape, and I can show you out there for an example. Outside my gate is Wiggins Street. Wiggins, I had an abortion when I was 20 years old. I never saw the name of that street until I started having visions. When I looked at the corner of the street, I was like, oh, devil, you a lie. Like, like when I saw it, I was like, how come I never saw this name before? Because it triggered the abortion that I had, right? So I looked directly to the corner, and there's a graveyard right here outside my gate. You won't even notice that it's there. That graveyard shows up nowhere in any of the deeds records. It shows that it's in the street. These are our ancestors' graveyards that are not being kept. So there's even a whole nother agenda that I want to use in terms of us. You know how they do quick claim deeds? Go in, clean up these, spend a couple of $100, because the graveyards that I've now found are connected to all of our properties, which if we challenge jurisdiction, they don't own it. And when I looked at all of the graveyards and I started reading maps, I found this triangle, which is my vision. And I'm like, how do I get people to see what I see? So that we can challenge our land and get our land returned back to our people. This was our ancestors' land.
Girl, yes.
And it's
Without
not
a doubt, you're telling the truth. Now, the thing is with that,
You're going to have some heat come behind us. The KKK.
But guess what?
Yes.
I've studied every city.
Yeah.
And every city has so it's like the ancestors woke me up to this awareness. How do I get more people to travel down your street so that you can pick up on these opportunities, so to speak? So now we can challenge. So I got so many angles about this. I was like, God, how could you have me lose this property when all my revelations came through here, even out to, like, that's not a coincidence that graveyard, and I started researching, and the baby daddy's name is on the street, and that could have been a complete distraction for me, because at first when I saw it, I was like, devil, you a lie. And then I looked at the graveyard, and then my neighbors, I was walking a lot because I just got another car, and my neighbors was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm blogging, I'm counting street lights, electrical wiring, blah, blah, blah. I was just so tapped in. And that's when I started talking to the neighbors, and they said, why are we paying taxes in two different locations? This property, Hope Mills, police comes to the back, Fayetteville police come to the front. Who owns this property? So I'm having these conversations with the neighbors to the point where I feel like I might be able to, this might be big thinking big. Challenge that graveyard at some point and get everybody in here to say we want to own our own land and make this a private community where everybody can use to fix their homes up. Because my house is fixed up. Everybody else is like, they were just terrible over here. Because it's been 20 years since these places been in place. So I'm here thinking, how do I claim this land?
Because when it
Does it sound crazy what I'm saying?
no, I understand what you're saying. You're saying this land belongs to you through generations of family. Now, with what you're saying, the developer, whoever developed this land, had to have ownership of it or something like ownership. So quick claim might have come in, which has happened to us through generations. You're not saying anything that I haven't already heard. there's a up 95. There's a quarry, stone quarry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, taken from family, black family. Layers,
Do you mind if I
layers,
I didn't do something.
but layers are over that.
Yeah.
And they made sure them layers were over that to cover. And they're not going to give it up easy. They're not. That is a definite fight. That's going to take time and money. And you're going to have protection because they're going to be active. Most definitely. I can tell you that. Because they've done that for generations.
Uh-huh.
And so generations are layered on it. I mean generations. I don't mean like 30 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So to know the truth and then to be able to delve into that truth.
That's a whole.
You see what I'm saying?
So what I'm saying, you don't think I'm crazy, because
No,
yeah,
no, you're not crazy.
yeah.
I know you're not crazy because it's true. You're not the only one I've heard that same story from.
I go
And
out
I
there in
know
my
the
backyard
gentleman
and
that
I got
tried to
rocks
fight
that
it.
got crystals in it,
He
and I'm
tried
like,
to find it.
who determines that these rocks ain't diamonds in here?
Yeah.
Who made the decision that this rock is less valuable than this one? I got a whole bunch of diamonds in my backyard.
There you go.
know?
So it's a process that they've made sure that was layered so deep and so thick
I'm just probably against
that if you go into that, yeah, you're gonna need money, protection, and somebody to admit it. And the courts are not gonna admit it. Why? Because they also tied into it.
Yeah. And that judge, that kind of, I actually know that she violated her oath of office, and I want to go after her, the county clerk.
But see,
I want to
You see what I'm
shut
saying?
the Cumberland County Courthouse down, and I know we can do it.
It's been done like that for years. Same thing with my friend. I had a friend that tried to do the same thing. His family had 50 acres. They got taken away. They discovered that the stone quarry was back there. It got taken away. Taken. And that's what they've been doing. I don't want to be prejudiced or sound prejudiced, but tell me when white, Caucasian have not incapacitated and taken.
That's all they've done,
Okay.
because they're not the original people, so that means that's all they could have done.
Now we see. We see. We see. We see. They've always done that. They come up with rules to fit them, to advance them, because they want to appear dominant. But again, as we see, in darkness, you can't see light. Light has to project themselves in darkness. So the darkness, as in color, is the dominant.
You sure got that right.
But that's what they've always done. And they made a business at doing that. And making us look the lesser. While we are the one that carried the strength and built the town and city and the building and the house and the farmland and the...
And now they're using our energy and our ignorance.
Okay.
And we became consumers.
And that's where we keep feeding the system. Not realizing the power of our dollar, which is less now because of the worth of the dollar, but the power that we have in it. Now, how do we bring that forth so these young people can hear it? Young people can see it. Young people can understand it. They have to learn to be less aggressive, more patient, which are difficulties for those two things right there, and less of a copy, more of an independent, original. There you go. Because I see this man wearing his pants down here. I'm gonna copy that. I I see this guy got them big tires on the car. I'ma copy that. Wasting money.
And think about it too. And I don't think they realize is that when they wear the pants, because I'm a massage therapist, so when they wear the pants off their butt, all along they pulling the leg to keep the pants up. Because that means their walk is gonna be off when they get old, right? Because you got to keep the pants on your ass. So their gait is gonna be off, their walk gonna be
See,
off.
I understand they.
The long term
There you
effect,
go.
and then now
That's
when you
it.
gotta run,
That's
you got to hold your pants
ain't gonna be able to run.
You holding the pants up by the side. I'm up here pulling cheese up my butt. You know what I mean? They gotta, you know,
That's right.
because your pants too
You
long.
cannot run.
You can't even run.
And you.
And I just say this an insult when they come up to me trying to holler.
And that's where we go. And that's where we go with what was being fed.
Right.
Media. What is being fed? Media. Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion.
What the hell?
What are y'all feeding?
And,
So it
and
all
what
plays
happens,
in
they
there.
raise a
They
few
try
of
to keep
them up.
you weak, not to discover what you really own.
Nobody reads. Nobody reads. And so part of
And the
me,
people that have fought have always lost because the layers are already there. They built them layers. And the court system.
and
is
that's
product.
what I
And the
feel
court
end up
system is
happening to
product.
me. I know that Tammy Carter knew that I had a valid case. That's why she didn't make a decision 2 times in the court. But instead of sending me a formal letter, she allowed them to continue to foreclose. She couldn't tell me in the court, nor did she send me the letter like she said she would. She knew I had a valid case. Because the question was, did you pay? Yes, I satisfied the mortgage.
They better be glad we wasn't here friend with you.
I
Going
wish I
downtown.
knew you guys then because I just, it's not too late.
You're not the only one who has gone through that.
But guess what, Miss Gwen? The day that I went to court,
But they will.
it was
deny
about that.
everything.
They was
Get
getting ready
ourselves
to
ready.
foreclose on this many people, and I was the only one in there that came in questioned in the foreclosure process.
Mhm.
Guess what I'm told?
All them families
I'm like, Kim, they gonna
displaced.
Kim.
Mhm.
I'm like, Kim, don't be scared. They can lock us up for a couple days. When we come out of here, we're gonna be richer than a motherfucker.
As long as y'all, because see, that's the other
We
part.
gonna come out.
So as I was going down into the courts filing documents, now I'm looked at as being, I think the guy called me a what do they call it?
Nuisance to society.
Expatriate or whatever.
Oh, yes, yes. Because you're going
Because
I'm
I'm
against the system.
It don't
right,
matter.
so-
I
and
don't
so
know
there's
what
a
it
couple times where they had put me out the courthouse.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I'm under duress, coercion, and fear my life. Ma'am, he has a gun. At this point, I don't know because they looking at me like
No,
I'm the enemy
and
and
they
I
try to
don't
make
have
you
a right
crazy.
to exercise
And
my right.
And that's why
And-
you got committed. That's
No,
why
that
you got
was separate. That was a separate.
No.
That happened at the hospital. That didn't happen at the court. And that happened last year.
For Kim,
I just went to court this year.
But you know, all of them will make you have a mental breakdown though. They trying to take your house. You're already going through a lot of stress and stuff. All that all that can cause a mental breakdown. Yes.
But the whole awakening has been within 2 years.
Yeah, but that's still
But still,
that's it.
Kim, they don't matter. Remember what I told you? My brother died 2 years ago. My dad died last year. I was fine. And everything hit me this year. It really hit me, and I was like, cause I kept saying like, with my sister, them, even with my brother, with my auntie and all them will be going through. Not my auntie, my cousins and different people that I know go through. I'm like, damn, that stuff's happened so long ago. Anything could trigger that, and if you have a lot of stress on you, it could just hit you out of nowhere.
You know what else I discovered that I had post-traumatic. No. When after you had a baby, but I didn't know postpartum. I didn't know until he was like 3 or 4
Mhm.
that something. My girlfriend just happened to ask asked me some questions, and I said, you know, I never thought of it like that. And so you can just go. I was 40 when I had him, you know. So just being single by yourself and becoming a mom at 40, that's a whole nother
Right.
world, you know. So between that and just got a lot of different little nuances. My sister suffers with mental illness. She lied and said that I was renting and I wasn't doing Airbnb. I was renting my place out and my son was sleeping on the floor. I hadn't seen my sister in a year. So she got my son taken away and sent to Georgia. So with COVID and the court system and all of that, it's terrible. My mom moved out of her house and moved back to Florida because she can't stand them. She was like, I didn't do anything. But the reason why I haven't gone crazy, Miss Quinn, is that we don't address mental illness. My sister had a brain aneurysm. She got a stent in her brain. I can't imagine. She ain't normal. People who have major health ain't thinking clearly for whatever reason. You know, they're not normal. We want them to be normal, but they ain't normal.
Right.
So I can't be mad with somebody that technically is crazy. You get what I'm saying? I can't change what she's done.
I want to tell you that I've come across a lot of people. A lot of people that have been inspirational, that have created things. And she doing that, how did she get the balance to do all that? And the influence the people that you were X, Y, and Z.
She signed a affidavit
saying what?
That she had concerns about my son. He was sleeping on the couch. I was renting my place out on Airbnb, and she didn't know where I was getting money from. That was
to do with her though.
But it was all a lie because I had my own transportation company that she knew my mom bought me 2 vans.
Well, how did the courts let that persist?
Because the courts ain't what we think it is. This is
I already
the
know that. That's what I just told you.
It ain't what we think it is. It's a money game, and I ran
a money game.
And you can't afford to pay for every time somebody files or whatever. You end up losing the game.
That's right. That's why it goes layers.
You end up losing the game. So between that and the guy taking my $5 million, I've gone through a lot in the last 2 years.
You steady focusing, trying to get that back together, losing footing on the other side. Yeah, I got you on that.
That's exactly what happened.
But see, that's when you know, everybody come together.
Where my pistol at?
Build together.
I'm going to go pistol with him for you.
I don't know how to find them, but
You
don't
need them.
Because see, what I'm gonna do is now when I blog, I say let's study, and it's funny. I say let's study a crook. I got all of his business documents because he was getting ready to add me to his GSA schedule. This is somebody that's a veteran in the military with 4 pharmacists.
You know,
he served in the military.
Listen, you know you can still get him in trouble then?
Wait a minute. I even tried to call his Chris Petty, which is his contracting officer, who pretend
you can go. You don't have to go through them. You can go straight to the VA and let them know. You need to go through the VA and let them know who.
Portia, you taking me down there to do
I
that.
sure am.
Because if anything, he shouldn't even be served in the public.
Because if he is, because I'm pretty sure
I got the 200-page binder to hand it over to any news media.
He's got something.
Anybody with every document.
Somebody just got in trouble.
And he's a veteran.
Somebody just got in trouble here recently.
I'm serious.
For cheating the government.
Listen, he's a veteran.
They told me because he wasn't cheating the government, he was cheating the public. They didn't get involved.
You know that's
what basically that's what his that's what the contracting officer said. I got it all in writing in the email.
But if you cheat the government, then it makes a difference.
Hold on, wait. That's because he's a contract. That's a contract. You gotta go to the source. That's a contract. Contract, they're not gonna get involved. It's a contract.
He's the
There-
contracted agent, the one that oversees for the government that
No.
he has to answer to. He gonna
You know
tell
why he
me
did?
that he couldn't get a
You
hold
know
of him.
why?
If that's the nigga that's making make sure you getting your checks coming in. If I call you as your contracting agent, you gonna get a hold of me in the next couple of hours
The
or
reason he
something,
did so,
right?
he probably got
Because
paid.
at this
He got-
point,
he
you
probably
don't
got
know
paid
why I'm calling you.
He probably got paid for it, and you can go. You
He
need to
probably
report him.
he probably was getting kickbacks. or
And you
whatever.
know what? You need to go ahead and report him to Better Business Bureau. Report his ass. Don't let him do that. Report. You got to fight back.
I got one of my clients.
Who?
He's getting ready to go on the anesthesia.
One of my clients
That was
sued
early.
him and won $280,000 of his money back,
Mhm.
but he couldn't. He still ain't got the money because Tony never showed up into court, so he got it by default. But he won
So you know what you need to do?
$280,000.
You need to go in. Y'all both can get together on his ass and report him. You need to report him to Better Business Bureau. That's the first thing. I'll report his
And
ass.
And he's running government contracts like that?
His office is right over there in Virgo. I went over there when I just got my car just to see was he still there because that's where my office was, my DNA office. And I went in there and he's still in there. I stayed there over a year after he took my money and I
But
never saw
what
him again.
is, I don't understand what his basis is.
He doesn't have one. He just decided he wasn't going to fulfill the contract and kept the money.
Which made your end of the business fall.
My customer transferred $4,900,000.
You,
That's a whole nother lawsuit.
yeah, that's a whole nother lawsuit. That's a whole nother lawsuit, which,
Technically, this is what I was
how
told.
do you, okay, what was his validity?
He never gave one.
No, listen, this is what I'm saying. What was his validity? When we go into business, Portia coming to me, you coming to me, and I got two people that want to do the same thing for me. What am I going to do for Portia, for you, to find out which one I'm going to choose?
Look, neither one. Just look at it as this. He's a medical supplier and he white labeled prior to COVID hand sanitizer. And I come to you and because we working on something different and I say, can I sell your hand sanitizer to the retail side since you selling it to the government?
Mhm.
Sure. I'm going to give this to you for $1.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it for $1.30. I just put a 30-cent markup on it. I was selling 100,000 to hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, large
Mhm.
volumes.
Mm-hmm.
So everything over $25, over $1
Mm-hmm.
is my profit.
Mm-hmm.
I sold 29 million. I wrote those out in contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the deal with my contract with him was that my customers had to pay half the money.
Mm-hmm.
They sent him $5 million
Okay.
for the.
Wrong answer. They should have sent it to you
Wait a minute, it had to go because
directly.
he's my supplier, and then he has to pay the distributor. I know what you're saying now, but he has to pay the distributor to put these people. Remember, COVID
'Cause
happened
he went direct.
because he was the owner of the product.
That's right. He went direct.
So my clients, we wrote the invoices, but my clients wired it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it wired, we had a system.
Mm-hmm.
I received the wire, so I have all of the proof that the money was sent to him.
But where's the profit? The 30 cents.
I never got it, and he
That's
know
because all the money went to him. There was 2 checks should have been written.
one for the profit up front.
That's why it went to you first, and then you should have paid him.
Well,
That's where he got over on you.
Well, yes, well, it is what it is, Miss
We have to pay
Quinn.
attention to it, baby. But yeah,
But in the future,
you
you
understand
learn.
that. That's right.
You learn
That's
in
right.
the future.
What's your bathroom
Because
bill?
I'm almost afraid. Give me a second.
Okay.
Because I don't even use this joke.
Yes, yes. Anytime you're doing business, you handle the money and the payment. If it's your business, you handle the money and do the payment. Because that's how people get over. And then therefore that person had direct connection to your business. So they could override you. Because they knew who you were selling it to.
I don't trust this one company. Like they didn't. I had still put his email and stuff in. But the only way you can get a hold of them is like through an email. Like they didn't tell me when my stuff would be delivered or nothing. And so I don't know if I need to tell him to cancel it and try to block them from even using his card. His card information. You think I should go ahead and tell him?
Boom. And Kenny come talking about the girls want to come over. I'm like, come over where? I said, I thought you were gone. You're not communicating with me. I said, I done got all that stuff put in that room. Oh, well, how long does it take you to clean it up? What?
They can come over there where you are.
That's what I'm saying. I said, what do you mean? I said, I thought you had left.
What is that?
My place is not a revolving door for when you want to have your kids.
So what's he talking about?
He's asking me how long it's going to take for me to clear the stuff out of the room.
Hell no, then where are you supposed to put it?
Thank you. Thank you.
So now what's he gonna do?
I don't know. Well, never mind, Mama. Never mind, Mama. Oh, you ain't making me feel bad. Don't you understand? You keep doing this, and then you communicating to them and think I'm supposed to understand what you're talking about. I have no idea you're planning the girls to come back over because you packed up all your stuff and left on Friday
Yeah.
before Christmas. And I don't know if my baby got anybody there with her, other than probably his buddy.
But if baby ain't telling you, then what you supposed to do?
I ain't talking about kid.
I know that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, he called me. I didn't know he called me. So I looked at my phone. But I didn't phone me.
Did you call him back? What did he say?
He getting ready to go into anesthesia.
All right, Miss Gwen, I was too embarrassed, even though I'm on strike. In his bathroom, but I know you need to use it, so I freshened it up for you.
Okay. Thank you, love.
Cause men could be real shady.
Yeah. Just nasty.
I mean, he's a great guy, ain't no problem, but he paying the bills right
Yeah.
now.
And he's so sweet.
He paying the bills, so what can I say? He don't know that I'm in control. He has no clue that I'm picking up a house. He clueless. Trust me, he just had a scare.